Hello everybody, I am speaking from the capital of Ukraine, Kiev. My name is Yevhen. Why Ukraine and the absolute majority of Ukrainians won't negotiate with Putin? Because all the people who follow Putin's actions clearly know that the paper on which Putin writes his promises is worth more than his words. Putin's words are systematically at odds with his actions, no matter to whom he says these words, to his people or the international community. In the Bible, in the book of the prophet Isaiah, in chapter 36-39, there is an instructive example for the history of Israel about how you cannot negotiate with criminal kings, because they promise to sign the peace, and when the peace is signed, they exterminate the people despite the agreement. You can help Ukraine, just subscribe my channel. Why do they say that Ukraine already won? Now the Solidar town battle is in the focus of mass media. Prior to this, there were a lot of different informational accents and topics to which the attention of the international society was reverted. The largest ones can be called in the reverse time order: blackouts, nuclear blackmail, the atrocity of the Russian troops in the occupied territories, the hard artillery attack on the Donbas, rapid advance of the Russian army deep into the country. Each of the above-mentioned phases was overcome by the synergetic efforts of the Ukrainian people together with the people of the conscious democratic society of the whole world. If we talk about the rapid advance of Russian troops at the beginning of the war, then literally at the end of March it was severely broken and pushed far back to the borders of the Russia and Belarus. If we are talking about nuclear blackmail, then Putin was silenced by the international community. If we mention the projectile advantage, Ukraine's military partners provided many weapons to the massively destroy Russian aggression on the territory of Ukraine and, if necessary, deep in the middle of Russia. If we are talking about an active missile company aimed at civilian infrastructure, then thanks to the heroic efforts of people and the strong material support of the West, Ukraine also withstood this phase with dignity. Now the contagion of totalitarianism has grown in the world. But a year ago, the main topic was COVID. If we draw a parallel and ask the question, has mankind defeated COVID? The answer is not quite yet. But in the minds of humanity, COVID was defeated when many countries and companies found a vaccine. And now there is no idea that humanity will die, although such an idea was seriously considered in the first half of 2020. Now the world has already defeated Russia by the hands of Ukrainians with the money and equipment of the collective democratic world. In all spheres, for the next 10 to 20 years, you can forget about any competitive ability of Russia. That's why everyone is already saying that Russia is defeated, although its army is still energetically trying to do something on the territory of Ukraine. Thank you for listening. Why is the US helping Ukraine? No doubtly, helping those who are in trouble is a truly noble and spiritual thing. At the same time, you can help when you yourself have plenty. And now, many say that the United States needs to focus on the situation inside the country. No doubt, America's prime focus on its economy always. And helping is just a part of a policy. At the same time, if Putin's dictatorship wins, then China will win in the geopolitical confrontation. It will mean that this world is now ruled not by international law, but by the right of the strongest. And this will mean a huge defeat of America. Those who now help the victory of democracy and international law care about tomorrow and planet Earth and America literally. Could President Biden or President Xi stop the war in Ukraine. Maybe President Zelensky can stop the war. I think most people will agree with me that Biden or Xi can only greatly influence the course of the war. If Zelensky, for example, declare capitulation, then in an hour there will be a coup d'etat in Ukraine. The only one who can stop the war here and now is President Putin. It is really interesting that the responsibility for such huge casualties is primarily on Putin, and that 7 billion people can do nothing about the only one person who can actually stop the war. You can help Ukraine, just subscribe my channel.